conversation that I needed with my mom. And I was able to understand, like, things I couldn't understand before I had my kid. Like, I couldn't understand, like, okay, Mom, why you were so quick to give up? And it wasn't that she gave up. It was more so she got overwhelmed and slowed down. She never gave up. It was more like, I don't know, like mommyhood hit her. And then dealing with the relationship she had with my dad, it's just everything play a role, but being a mom is kind of like, I can't explain it, yo. Like, me and my mother really talked some shit out, and I was able to, like, just look at it from a different perspective, because you really do fall short. Like, when you fall short, like, from your parents' shit, like, what they could have facilitated from you, like, helping you deal with certain things that matters, like self-control, responsibilities, like every little thing that you have to get taught to become that person you're supposed to become. So I was like, Mom, you ain't teach me shit for real. All she taught me how to love. That's it. She was really good at love, and God. We prayed a lot, and I could just tell my mother really loved me. But all that other shit, like the neglect and everything that fell in place, was kind of like the mom role was getting battled with things that didn't matter. Like, my mom could have been a mother, but she had to deal with this weird ass nigga, and she ran. I'm telling you, we used to run away. That nigga would find her. Then she started running.
So Chrisean, she hopped online to talk about the conversation that her and her mama had, and all the stuff she had to deal with when she grew up, what her mama had to go through dealing with her father. And that's some real shit though, because as a kid, the shit that happened to you when you young, it affects your life. When you a kid, you don't think about that. You just being a kid. Whether your life is horrible or good, it's normal to you because this is what you grew up into. And so many kids, whether they grew up in the projects, broke, crime-ridden, drug-ridden, and from what I heard about Chrisean, her mama and her father was like drug addicts, alcoholics, always into some shit, had a whole bunch of kids, everybody had to figure it out on their own. Then Chrisean, she had some godparents that made sure she was on the right track. She got into sports and all that stuff because that was her outlet to deal with all the shit she had to deal with growing up. And that's trauma. A lot of adults today in relationships, at work, be dealing with their traumas 24/7. And a lot of us be putting the blame on our parents, like, it's your fault, it's your fault. But then when you get older, especially when you have your own kids, you realize your mother or your father was just a normal person dealing with having kids, dealing with life. Whether they cheated, whether they started a new family, whether they was an alcoholic or drug addict. Like, life is hard. Life is real hard. Especially if you don't got no guidance. You don't really know what's better. You just going with the flow, going through emotions, just dealing with life. You could easily succumb to alcohol, drugs, or falling with the wrong crowd, succumbing under pressure. So ain't no telling what her mama had to deal with. And just the fact that they had that conversation and she was talking about it was bringing her to tears, that's some real shit, man. What y'all think about this, your boy B?